Join the movement.
Veteran-approved gear, always ready for action.
Cinematic hook and battlefield context. Modern battlefields are unstable places. They are not defined by front lines or fixed distances. They collapse without warning from long-range observation to close-quarter chaos in seconds. A patrol can move from open terrain into dense urban corridors, from daylight into darkness, from calm into contact without transition. In this environment, a soldier's rifle is no longer just a tool, it is a constant companion. It must be light enough to carry for days, compact enough to maneuver through buildings, accurate enough to reach across open ground, and controllable enough to function under stress. It must work when dust coats everything, when rain soaks gear, when fatigue dulls reflexes. The M4A1 Carbine exists because modern war no longer allows specialization. It demands flexibility. And in that demand, the rifle becomes less about firepower alone and more about trust. 2. Why this weapon was created. The origins of the M4A1 lie in a hard lesson learned over decades of conflict. Standard infantry rifles were no longer optimized for how wars were actually being fought. During the late Cold War and into the post-Vietnam era, U.S. forces increasingly found themselves operating in environments that favored mobility over mass. Mechanized infantry, airborne units, vehicle crews, and special operations forces needed something shorter and lighter than full-length rifles without sacrificing effectiveness. Urban warfare amplified the problem. Long barrels were cumbersome inside vehicles and buildings. Tight corners, stairwells, and doorways punished bulk. The battlefield had shrunk in places, even as it expanded technologically. The M4 family emerged as a response to this reality. The M4A1, specifically, represented a refinement standardizing durability and reliability for sustained use. It wasn't about replacing older rifles entirely. It was about creating a platform that matched how soldiers actually moved, fought, and survived. Design philosophy and engineering. Thinking. The M4A1 was never designed to impress on paper. Its philosophy is conservative by intention. Every design choice reflects a preference for balance over extremes. Shorter length improves maneuverability, but challenges stability. Lighter weight aids endurance, but can amplify recoil. Engineers had to navigate these trade-offs carefully, ensuring that no single improvement compromised the whole. Rather than reinventing infantry weaponry, the M4A1 evolved from a familiar lineage. That continuity mattered. Training pipelines, muscle memory, and logistics all benefit when change is evolutionary rather than disruptive. The rifle's engineering prioritizes predictability. Controls are placed where generations of soldiers already expect them. The balance point allows steady handling during movement. Nothing is ornamental. Everything exists to reduce friction between human and machine. In military design, elegance often means restraint. The M4A1 embodies that principle. 4. Fire rate, power and control, conceptual explanation. In combat, raw power is meaningless without control. The M4A1's effectiveness lies in how it manages energy, not in how much it delivers. The rifle's firing behavior is engineered to remain controllable during rapid engagement, allowing soldiers to maintain awareness rather than fight the weapon itself. Control is a psychological asset. A rifle that stays predictable under stress allows the operator to think, observe, and respond, rather than react blindly. The M4A1 supports this by balancing recoil impulse, weight, and ergonomics into a system that favors consistency. This doesn't make the weapon gentle, it makes it usable. And usability in combat is what keeps decisions deliberate rather than panicked. 5. Range, accuracy, and battlefield. Reach. Modern infantry rifles do not need to dominate extreme distances. They need to be effective across the ranges where most combat actually occurs. The M4A1 is optimized for realistic engagement distances, those encountered in urban streets, open compounds, and transitional terrain. Its accuracy is sufficient not because it outperforms physics, but because it aligns with battlefield reality. Accuracy is also cumulative. It comes from how well a system integrates human input, optics, posture, and environment. The M4A1's consistency allows soldiers to build familiarity over time, translating into confidence and precision under pressure. The rifle does not promise dominance at every range. It promises reliability where it matters most. 6. Attachments and modularity, visual explanation only. One of the defining characteristics of the M4A1 is its modularity, not as a gimmick, but as a visual language of adaptability. Rails and mounting surfaces allow the rifle to change appearance depending on mission context. In one environment, it may carry optics suited for distance. In another, tools optimized for low light. The rifle becomes a platform rather than a fixed identity. This modularity reflects a broader military philosophy, adaptability without reinvention. Instead of issuing entirely different weapons for every scenario, the Army equips soldiers with a single system that can visually and functionally shift as needed. To an outside observer, these attachments signal complexity. To a soldier, they signal readiness. 7. Soldier experience and battlefield role. What matters most about the M4A1 is not how it performs in isolation, but how it integrates into a soldier's lived experience. Carried across miles, held during long watches, shouldered in moments of sudden urgency, the rifle becomes part of the body's rhythm. Its weight is learned, its balance memorized, its presence reassuring. Soldiers often describe trust not as confidence in firepower, but in predictability. The M4A1 rewards familiarity. It behaves the same in training as it does in deployment. That consistency reduces cognitive load in moments when attention is already stretched thin. This sense, the rifle's greatest contribution, is not lethality, but mental bandwidth. 8. Psychological impact in combat weapons shape perception long before they are fired. The M4A1 carries psychological weight on both sides of the encounter. For the soldier, it represents continuity, something stable in an unstable environment. That stability affects posture, decision-making, and composure. For adversaries, the rifle is instantly recognizable. Silhouette signals professional military presence rather than irregular force. That recognition can influence behavior, escalation, and deterrence before any exchange occurs. Psychological impact is not about intimidation alone. It is about clarity. The M4A1 communicates seriousness, structure, and capability without spectacle. 9. Strengths, limitations, and tactical reality. No weapon is perfect, and the M4A1 is no exception. Its compactness, while advantageous, comes with trade-offs. Its effectiveness depends on disciplined logistics and maintenance. It excels as part of a system, not in isolation. Criticism of the rifle often arises when it is judged against unrealistic expectations, either asked to perform beyond its design or compared to platforms built for entirely different roles. The M4A1's strength lies in balance. Its limitation lies in that same restraint. It is not meant to dominate every scenario. It is meant to function reliably across many. That distinction is crucial. 10. Final reflection and legacy. The M4A1 Carbine will not be remembered as a revolutionary leap in weapons technology. It will be remembered as something quieter and arguably more important. It represents the US Army's understanding that modern war is unpredictable, human-centered, and exhausting. That success comes not from extremes, but from systems that reduce friction between soldier and environment. The rifle's legacy is written not in specifications, but in trust earned through repetition, reliability, and restraint. In the end, a reason the US Army trusts the M4A1 with every mission is simple. It works, and in war, that is everything.